Hi everyone, I'm bringing you this video from right outside, so I hope that you can hear all the beautiful birds and the things taking place around me, because this is where I love to be the most, outside. What does planting seeds, harvesting crops have to do with our own life and death cycle? I'm going to tell you ahead of time that this demonstration may cause some debate among my classmates, and I hope that it brings up some conversations as to exactly what does planting and harvesting have to do with our own life and death cycle and what we do in between. You can't just start by digging a hole and throwing a seed in it and then waiting for it to grow. For me, it starts out with a piece of ground like this. And as you can see, it's hard and it's compacted, and there's no way I could just throw a seed in there and pray that it would grow. I have to cultivate and work that ground. I have to get it worked up finely, and I have to have it in such a manner that when I place that little seed in there, it's going to be able to get all the nutrients that it needs to grow. Kind of like with us in our own life, we have to work up a lot of things and we have to work on a lot of things to have them grow and prosper. After I work up that ground, I end up with some fine soil that kind of looks like this. Trying to get it in front of the camera. You guys can see it falling. There you go. I then take a tiny little seed about the size of this guy. Some of them are even smaller. And I place it in rows depending on the seed if it needs different spacing. I then finally cover it with dirt and wait for the process to begin. That's how it is in our own life. Sometimes we have to do a lot of work and then wait for the process to begin. God begins it on the inside and we wait for it to take root and grow. When your plants do start to grow, you may see something fragile like this. This little guy looks pretty fragile and like anything could just uproot it. However, when I give you a little tearaway version, you can see that this little guy has roots that have grown down in. And that's what happens in the ground. These seeds take root and then they stay strong and they stay planted. However, you got to protect your garden. You got to protect it from scavengers that are looking for a nice, tasty, fresh vegetable. So there's groundhogs, there's rabbits, there's raccoons, there's skunks. There's all types of predators out there looking to pull up that harvest before it has a chance to grow and blossom and be harvested. Now, many times we plant our crops in rows next to each other because they actually pollinate one another. They actually help each other grow. Now, I said I wanted to connect planting and harvesting with our own life and death cycle. I just wanted you to stop for a second and think where Adam came from. Adam came from the dust, from the dirt of the ground, right here. Eve was taken from his rib, and from Eve, a seed was placed, which a child was born from. And that child grew up, and that child, depending on which one, Cain or Abel, took root and was given good nutrients and grew up good and strong and prospered, or the roots were not in the ground tight enough and he was uprooted. And we all know what happened with his life and how he was cursed forever to walk the earth. Not forever, but you know what I'm saying. So here's what I'm trying to say to you. There's a whole lot of parables in the story when planting seeds and harvesting. Our own life, as I've talked about in many speeches before, is all about planting seeds of faith and what you do with them. It's also about those roots and how rooted you are and how you are cared for and loved and nurtured while you're growing. I want to thank you for your time. And I apologize that this speech is late to all my classmates. I'm sorry if I've held you up any time. I would like to dedicate this to Mrs. Clara Hillegas, who passed away this week and was a very close friend of mine. Thank you.